Welcome to everyone on this very auspicious day of Ash Wednesday. I have the ash here on my forehead. So I'm going to give you a broader understanding, a scientific understanding, a historical understanding, a methodological understanding of what ash is. And prior to that, we will talk about ash in the Christian context. This is the day where people put the ash on their forehead. They draw a cross with the ash. And in Genesis, there is a reference to this ash. The ash represents the dust. It is a reminder that we came out of the dust and we are going to go into the dust. So that will make you to remember God and yet not get lost in this world of illusion. And this life is a precious life, and you have to remember that. And when you remember that, then you will begin to reflect on God. And that's the purpose. It is in the Old Testament context. Within the context of the New Testament or the contemporary practice of different denominations of Christianity, it is Palm Wednesday, which means the ash is collected from the palm leaves. And you just wear the on your forehead. And it's the start of the penance for 40 days associated with Jesus Christ. And his penance. And during the Lent time, during which time through penance, he gathered powers, and then he came back on the Palm Wednesday. Why palm? Why ash? And I'm going to talk about it and connect it with the tradition that I come from, and which is the Shaivite tradition associated with Shiva. And there, the palm is considered a very sacred tree. And then the books in those days, when there were no paper, they used to use these palm leaves as paper and inscribe it with a nail. And this is my prayer book made out of palm leaves. Why palm leaves? Palm leaves. Once you write on the palm leaves, it gains tremendous amount of power. Palm leaves have a tremendous amount of power. And to make a powder out of that, or ash out of burning the palm, is significant. And then putting it on the forehead is symbolic of awakening your higher consciousness, which is the third eye, representing. That is the explanation and given within the Shaivite tradition. They always use it not only on Palm Day, but every day they put this ash on their forehead to awaken this area representing the third eye and the pituitary gland and the frontal lobe. They are very powerful areas within the brain associated with both human and divine intelligence. And I can go on, and this, it is enough if you put this ash over there, or on the forehead. And I would recommend that you, oh, when you put this ash today, or all through the Lent, or whenever you want, remember why you are doing and what you are doing, and then that reminds you that you want to awaken divine intelligence, and within the brain. That is and the following 40 days is an observance of penance, where you avoid, meat, according to some traditions, and fast, according to some other traditions. And these are the days of repentance, and until the Palm Sunday, where Jesus come back to Jerusalem, and then following that is the crucifixion and resurrection, and the Easter, which celebrates the resurrection event. These are not stories. I want to emphasize the power of ash. The ash is called vibhuti, miracles. Vibhuti means miracles. The moment you put this vibhuti, according to the Shaiva tradition, is to gain ability to do supernormal things called siddhis. And you can program your thoughts, your prayers, and then the program is done in a certain way that you just pass on those prayers into these ash particles, and they gain power. And that is the concept behind it within this Shaivite tradition or Shiva tradition. You can, when you just put this vibhuti or ash, that is really what is happening. So on this day, so we remember it, how important, significant is this celebration of Ash Wednesday, and particularly putting this on your forehead is extremely powerful. So that's why I thought that I would do that program, and then from now onwards, I will try to do during all of the Lent periodically, and audios or videos for you, so that you can awaken the consciousness that we are all eligible to, because Jesus wanted to give everybody the power he had, and the power he had was just not artificial intelligence or physics or chemistry or even space science. The power he had was just to turn water into wine and raise Lazarus from his dead body, and then cure illnesses, not through surgery, but just through, his miracle powers. All these powers are latent within us, because we are not just flesh and blood. We have a divine body, just as the divine body of Jesus Christ, which we will talk about when I talk about the resurrection, the mechanics of resurrection, and then ascension, as people were seeing him, he ascended. Okay. And that is really the meaning of the life and message of Jesus, is for us to understand that we are here to experience heaven on earth. Okay, and my kingdom, thy kingdom, should come to this earth plane as it is in heaven. There are people who will talk about my Lord's Prayer. My Lord's Prayer is not about getting a job or getting married and then dying. It's not that. We have forgotten the my Lord's Prayer. The intention of the prayer is to bring heaven on earth as it is in heaven. So in the Saiva tradition, they talk about everybody is wearing these all over the body, and just not only on the forehead. So you can program it with your intentions, and then you will. Let's do it as a penance. Okay, that it is a lot more easier to live life in accordance with the blessings and prayers, and receive grace from the divine beings. So you remember Christ, you remember God, you remember Yahweh, and then on this day, and then try to live a holy life, a divine life, which we all deserve, and then that is why we are here for. So on my part, what I will do is I will on these days of Lent will give you more information, and then there are programs that I told people that it is a very, very powerful days, in astronomically and also through the blessings of the divine beings, So Ash Wednesday is very, very important day. So let's all celebrate that, and then Palm Sunday, and then the Easter's. That's what I'm going to do. So it is not simply a ritualistic observation, that our practice. It is something very, very powerful, ceremony of divine origin, both in the Old Testament time, New Testament time, and in the Saiva times, and there are also other traditions. I'm not going to go into that. So I'm very thankful to the divine beings, to the cosmos, for giving this opportunity to deliver this message to you. And so let's receive the divine energy from Shiva, from Jesus, from Yahweh, from all the different beings from in the universe. Let them remind us to live a life in accordance with divine principles, not simply by human ignorant principles. God bless.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Dr. Pillai. One of the things Dr. Pillai is asking us to do during the 40 days is to be prayerful. And there is a course that was created 2 years ago now and led by Mohini called My Lord's Prayer. And we will be reopening that for enrollment for the first time in 2 years. So stay tuned for more information about that. In the meantime, you're invited to participate in Lent in a way that brings you closer to the divine. Namaste.